Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very special guest. We have Flat Earth Dave, also known as David Weiss. He's a fellow Connecticut resident, and we're so happy you're joining us tonight. Thank you so much for being here.
All right, thanks. Looking forward to the conversation with some awake, aware people in Connecticut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right? There's not
hard.
many of us here, right?
No.
Yeah. Um, so I used to listen to you when your podcast. You haven't done the podcast in a long time, but I used to listen to you and your friend there. And
Matt.
I've heard the story of and I've heard the story of like kind of where you came from. How did you get to Flat Earth?
Well, I was doing a podcast called Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole out of New York City. And it was myself, my buddy Tim. We were the truth seekers. And then there was Mike, the comedian that tried to turn everything into a fart joke. And there was an interesting dynamic. And we made some big waves with that. But then people started sending flat Earth stuff. And you're like, come on, flat Earth. And as I always say, I ban people from our social media because if you think the Earth is flat, you're too stupid to listen to our conspiracy podcast. I'm sorry. And then I was forced to look, and we all have the same story. We were all forced to look, and we went in trying to disprove it. We went in not trying to find the truth, trying to disprove flat Earth, prove the globe, be done with it. And now that's how you become a flat earther.
Well, so when you were doing this show and you had all these different conspiracies and things like that, was Flat Earth the one that you would get the most anger? I've noticed that I could talk about like Bigfoot, I could talk about other things with people, but the moment you mention something about Flat Earth, people like lose it.
I'll try to keep this clean for YouTube. So the first episode I did, they had no idea what we were going to talk about. I said, we're going to talk about.
No, don't worry. I'm going to put it on Rumble. So
but I want it on YouTube. It's okay. I can talk, but because I can share it on the app that way if we have it on YouTube.
Okay.
And we're in New York City, so I talked about the New York City event, and everybody had their mind blown. They had no idea, right? People in New York City had no idea, right? So that triggered tons of people. So then after I got people used to that, and they're like, okay, something is wrong here. The conspiracy theory is, 2 planes knocked down 7 buildings. That's the conspiracy theory. And I look at myself as a conspiracy analyst, not a conspiracy theorist. And so I got everybody used to that. And then was it Boston before Sandy? So Boston happened, and everyone freaked out that I was saying that didn't happen. And then I proved it. And then Sandy happened, and people get triggered after that. Unbelievable. People still get triggered. And people are probably listening right now getting triggered. But instead of getting triggered, go look at the evidence, right? And the evidence can all be, it used to be on YouTube, but not anymore. It can be found at stoplookthink.com, and just put in Boston, Sandy, New York, whatever you want to put, and all the information there. Watch it. Don't believe anything. Verify it yourself. Go double check everything. And so which thing triggers people the most? I guess everything triggers people, but Flat Earth does trigger people because you didn't learn about those 3 events I just mentioned when you were a baby. You learned about them when they happened. They were very localized, but Flat Earth is the one that affects every single person everywhere, every single day. That's the one where if you lived in any form of civilization, if you want to call it that, you were brainwashed with that before you can talk. All the movies, all the kids shows, Sesame Street, astronauts, right? School, globe in the front of the school. First worksheet, the moon goes around the earth goes around the sun, and then every movie, every great movie. Come on, we all love Star Wars, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica. I grew up on Star Trek, every time it was on, we'd watch it. I think it was every day, 5 days a week, or I forget. But it becomes who you are. And for some reason, we woke up. We were able to see it. There's people that you can show them, everything, all the evidence, and they're like, I don't believe it. I'm not going to believe it. And I use the analogy. You walk into a room, there's dead bodies everywhere, hatchet, blood, everything. There's just dead bodies everywhere. You got to step over them, right? And someone looks around and goes, yeah, I don't see the motive. I don't see the motive. I haven't heard a peep of this. Can't be real, right? And no matter how much evidence you show them, how many dead bodies you show them, the globe is covered with dead bodies. When I say dead bodies, I mean absolute proofs that we're not on a globe. So many. I don't even mention them half the time when I'm talking about it because it's ridiculous. I like talking about what's beyond where we're allowed to go, what's above us, and it's all fascinating. But if you want to prove the shape of the Earth, you don't really have to go very far. You can just you just say, look at water. Water at rest lays flat, Then, you ask people a couple of questions like, who's measured the curvature of the Earth in history? And the person that's defending the globe will go, well, I don't know. Have you measured it? No. Okay. Well, that's all right. And you say, who do you know? Do you know anyone that's directly measured axial rotation? Right? The Earth spins. Do you know who measured that? No, I don't know it. Have you measured it? No. I'm like, okay, but you're arguing and defending curvature and axial rotation, but you never measured it, and you don't know who ever actually measured it. And then you say, how about gas pressure adjacent to a vacuum in space? How is that possible? How do you have pressurized air next to a vacuum? How can you show me in a lab in nature anywhere where you can have high pressure next to low pressure without a physical barrier? And they'll scratch their head. They'll be like, well, I'm sure somebody's done it, somebody. And I'm like, no one's ever done it. So with those three things, the globe's dead. Okay, how much more do you need? Do we need to see 600 miles? That would be 45 miles of curvature. Well, we just saw 616 miles. Okay, someone in Israel took a picture of some mountains. I think it was Crete. 616 miles. From his elevated height, the top of the mountain would be behind 400. It doesn't even matter. 400 plus miles of curvature. No, not 400, 40 miles. Still, 40 miles of curvature. The tallest mountain, I think, is like 2 miles high. Okay, and I think it was like 42 miles. Just round down, 40 miles. 40 miles of curvature. Can you imagine 40 miles of curvature? Okay, but the globalists, the globe, lovers, they'll be like, no, well, refraction, right? This is 20 miles up. 20 miles up, right? No plane flies even near this altitude. This is a balloon, 120,000 feet, 20 miles up. 20 miles up. Okay. They say Kansas is pretty flat. Kansas is about 400 miles across. If you were on the edge of canvas, and we'll say that's on the top of the ball, and you went to the other side of Kansas, do you know there's 20 miles of drop in Kansas? So one end of Kansas to the other is the same amount of drop from this balloon to the ground. Does that make any sense to you?
No. And
most people just short circuit and they can't even process what you're saying. And they're just like, I don't know, a guy in a bow tie and a lab coat, he told me, and he used to be a comedian, so I have to believe him.
Yeah. So I got a question about that, because I've heard in a lot of them you talk about, the formula of as you go farther away, the drop, right? Mm-hmm. And the thing that I keep missing, because I went to art school, is perspective. And so how you can see the boat. They use the example of you see the boat and the curvature, the boat sinks. It comes up the horizon, the line. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't make any sense, because I shouldn't be like an escalator. It shouldn't be parallel. You know what I mean? Because if we're on a ball, the boat should almost be tipping back. So. Yeah,
but they say you can't notice the tip, because it's just a slight angle, but it's going behind the curve. And before it's tipped far away, you can just make up stories. You're right. It's stupid. It doesn't work. And the globalists like to say, look at this picture of the ocean. If we crunch the picture, there's a curvature. Yeah. There's curvature because you're looking in the same distance in all directions. So you're seeing a big flat circle. Put your head in the center of a hula hoop, put the hula hoop at eye level, and just say, okay, that hula hoop is my horizon. It's flat, but it's curved. Okay. If I see 20 miles forward, I see 20 miles at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, all the way around, connect all those points. That's where, perspective brings the horizon, the sky, and the ground together. That's the limit of your vision, the zone of your vision, the horizontal eye zone.
Mm-hmm.
Sound like anything?
Yeah.
The horizontal eye zone?
Yeah.
Nobody's ever been really impressed with that. I love that.
Well, there's so much that comes to my head. There's so much just common sense stuff that,
Right.
reality is, things are pretty simple. Nature's simple. Everything is, keep it simple, stupid. And when it comes to a globe, it becomes more complicated. I got into video games a lot. Well, in video games, the physics they use, the physics engines are all based on a flat Earth, because when you start making it round, it becomes too complicated, the math. So they just make everything flat because it's just easier. It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean they everything they do, they use the flat Earth model. Globers say, "Where's your model?" Well, just ask the FAA. Because and NASA, because every test they do for their flying machines, they say they use the model of a topographical level non-rotating plane. All right, that sounds like the flat Earth to me. It doesn't sound like the globe. Well, it's really the globe, but we treat it like it's flat because that just makes everything work.
Mm-hmm.
What? Or maybe it's just flat. Maybe it's flat. We live on a topographical level plane. Like when you hang a plumb bob. If you're near Mount Everest, shouldn't it kind of shouldn't it go a little towards Mount Everest? Just a little bit? Mount Everest is pretty big. Okay. Should be a little something. Or how about this? If you go down in a deep well, right? So you're down in a mine. Let's say you're 7 miles down. 7 miles down. Think how much Earth is between you if you drew a straight line until it popped out. All that Earth, that's gravity. Would a plumb bob work in a mine? Would it? Of course it would, because gravity is nonsense. Mm-hmm. Gravity is absolute and total nonsense. So talk about perspective. I'll show you something. So here's a little picture I put together. And so here we're on a boat. We're quarter mile from the shoreline. It got trees. And then in the distance, a couple miles away, these buildings are popping up. And so if we drew a line from the viewer on this boat, he's just seeing over the trees. All he can see is the very top of this building, right? Because these trees are in his way. But then as he goes away, those trees that are 150 feet over his head quickly become eye level. The tops of those trees become eye level due to perspective. Everything becomes eye level. The clouds become eye level in the distance. And all of a sudden he could see more of that building. Right? And so this is a real life example. Here I am, maybe a quarter mile from the shoreline, and I could see these buildings. Okay, I'm zooming in, different zoom levels. Okay, then I went 26 miles away. Now, 26 miles, you're going over the curve of the Earth. Everything should be dropping below the curve. But I can see, this line here is here, right? Look at that. I got that part of the building. It's right there. Okay. So I'm seeing more. The farther I go, the more I see. That only works on a flat plane.
Is that Mohegan Sun?
No, it's not. That is in white. That's White Plains. That's in white. Okay. That's in White Plains. It could be. It does look like Mohegan Sun. Look at us Connecticuters, huh? What's Mohegan Sun? People are going. Hey, are you guys going to wait? Are you guys going to Las Vegas in October for Flattoberfest?
Oh, I didn't know about
Flattoberfest, that. October 21 and 22 or 20 and 21. Go to flatearthfestivals.com. It'll also be on the app shortly on the shopping page, but it's going to be the greatest conference, good times. It'd be a great vacation for the two of you.
Hey, did
Well,
you?
we have kids, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
How old are the
We'll teach them
kids?
how to gamble.
9 and 11.
Bring up 9/11,
They're
Connecticut,
homeschooled,
Illuminati
yeah.
confirmed. Okay,
Yeah.
right?
Don't worry, we're good
Y-
with our hands. We don't
y-
do anything with our hands. We don't.
Yeah. You know what Sandy Town is exits it's between exits 9 and 11.
Oh, really?
It's just a coincidence, right?
Hey, are you in like almost like a renaissance of flat Earth because of the last 2 years is when we've woken up because it's been like nonstop,
Yeah.
like
Since COVID, yeah.
things that are obvious, like you know.
The truth has a funny way of spreading, right?
Mhm.
You know, in the last 2 years, it is really come a long way, and it is coming faster and faster. I did a show called Flyover Conservatives the other day. I did them a long time ago when they first started when they were small. Then I went on them, and their show kind of went viral, got like 100,000 views or maybe even more. And we went for 3 hours, and it was a great show. And then Man in America, I don't know if you know him.
Yeah.
You saw him? He was he laughed at them. He's like, "Oh, you got a flat earther on?" They're like, "Watch the video." And he's like, "Okay, I'll watch it." He watched the video. He called me up. He had me on a show 2 weeks later. Bam! Now he's on it. And then I was on Candace Taylor, Dr. Candace Taylor, the GOP governor nominee for Georgia, or she ran. And she, that was our second time. They're doing damage control. It hit Rolling Stone magazine, Market Watch tweeted it. It's everywhere. And the problem is their damage control is making more damage. It's absolutely, right. It's going everywhere. Like when these people tweet these stupid articles and these stupid videos, I just hit them up with tweets. I'm like, "Oh, did you ever consider this?" And I pop in a video, and then people are watching my videos. They're coming to my channel. I don't care about the subs, but the subs are going up, even though I'm freaking shadow banned. And people are going to my website, flatearthdave.com, and they're becoming flat earthers, right? Mm-hmm. We all have the same story. Flat Earth is stupid. You're an idiot. I'm not looking. And then something makes us look. And then our brains do something they never taught us in school. It was to actually think and use our common sense, not to memorize and regurgitate Rockefeller-funded textbooks. Okay? Mm-hmm. Right? See that? Somebody, these are new flat earthers. Every time you see that, it's a new flat earther. Okay?
Well, Dave, it's getting to the point where your proof is just, hey, turn on the news. What are they telling you? Because it's literally almost the opposite of everything. Exactly. If we turn on the news and they said, here's a mountain in Connecticut, don't jump off the cliff. I'm like, let's go. Maybe we should jump off that cliff.
Oh, a bunch of flat earthers jump off a cliff because the news told them not to. Great. Don't give them any ideas.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. It's so ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. I mean, think about it. When there's a solar eclipse, they tell you, don't look at the sun. Here's some free glasses to blind you. Well, I stare at solar eclipses, but I do sun gazing. Don't go stare at the sun, eclipse or not, until you train your eyes to be strong. But there's a lot of information in a solar eclipse. If solar eclipses made you go blind, every time there's a solar eclipse, there would be 150,000 blind people because you tell someone not to do something, they're going to do it. Right? They do it. No one goes blind. Nobody ever goes blind. In 1970, there was an eclipse somewhere in the 70s, right? I'm dating myself. And there was a news story about a guy somewhere. He looked at the eclipse and he's blind and make sure you wear these, and it was like a big, all the news stories. Imagine that. All the different news channels were talking about this guy at the same time. That sounds like, must be a big story. And my whole life I was afraid of looking at eclipses. And I think eclipses are, they literally lift your consciousness, perhaps. Who knows what's going on? Because, the lights in the sky are more than just lights in the sky. They're not burning balls of gas. They're energetic, sentient parts of who we are.
Yeah.
So
and so what did they do before they invented those glasses when they had solar eclipse? I mean, there wasn't much to do 1,000 years ago. If there was a solar eclipse, I'd be looking, Well,
I think this deception really started in the 1900s. In the 1800s, everybody was way more advanced than we are now. I mean, we are literally in the middle of the movie Idiocracy. In the 1800s, it wasn't the Wild West. It's nonsense, right? Yeah. Back in the 1800s, cities were founded. They were found. They were already here after some sort of cataclysm, some sort of reset. And we went in and repopulated these cities, right? the gold rush out west. There was a gold rush, but that's because they needed some currency because they had this whole city. They had people like, what are we going to use? Well, let's use gold. And so it was the gold rush, right? All of our history is such a lie, and none of us are claiming we know exactly what it is. We just know what it isn't, right? Yeah. And I tell everybody this on all my shows. I hope you've written it down. Instagram, I'm the improbable dreamer. All one words. I'm the improbable dreamer. I'm the improbable dreamer. One word. Sit down tonight or whenever you get some time. Flip through the last 10, 20, 50, 100 of his short little videos, and you'll never be bored again. Your entire life will change because you will now see the world. You will take all of the beliefs that you had on what this world was and throw them in the garbage, and you'll have to retool everything. But again, the greatest thing about being a flat earther is we're never bored, ever. Yeah. Remember boredom? I don't even remember boredom, but I remember I used to be bored. And so what would I do? I'd turn on TV and I'd be just flipping channels, right? Flipping channels. That's what I used to do. Flip channels. It's retarded. Okay. Now boredom, it doesn't exist. I mean, I'm sleep deprived because I don't want to go to sleep because there's so much to learn, so much to do. Inside, outside, wherever you are, there's so much to see and learn. And flat earthers, we know that we don't know everything. Globers think they know everything. But you go to a glober, how fast is the earth spinning? How fast is it orbiting? How fast is it chasing the sun? Did you even know it's chasing the sun? Who figured out how far it was? How did they do it? They don't know any of those answers. They don't know any of them. And they're all bogus answers anyway. What's the radius of the earth? They don't know, but they defend the globe. Okay. And they laugh at you for being a researched person asking questions of the mainstream narrative.
Yeah. And it's their own prison, because that's a depressing way to live. You're in a box. There's no reason to look outside the box. Now it's like we did with the electric culture. Like, I didn't know about this stuff. I knew about Tartaria and all this stuff. And now my mind is like so filled with possibilities.
Right.
That before, like, who cares? Let me just turn on the TV. Like you said, turn on the TV and just watch a TV show or play a video game.
They took our world and wrapped it around a sphere, gave us a magnetic declination, gave us friggin' crazy time zones in the north and the south. There's not 24 time zones in each. They changed, and somehow all of the countries in the world, for their own political reasons, implemented their time zones in the south in a way that would hide the flat earth and make you think it's a globe, just by coincidence, by chance. Okay. And the magnetic declination in the north and the south perfectly works if you're trying to hide the flat earth and make it a globe, right? You wouldn't need magnetic declination if the earth was a globe. It would just be 24 time zones. That's it. But they're wrapping, a larger south around a smaller south on a sphere. And, part of the problem is it's easier just to believe. You guys believe I live in Connecticut. Do you know it?
No.
You don't know it. You believe it because we have to believe. Here's why. If you had to verify every single thing you saw and heard, you wouldn't have time. You wouldn't. You have to live in a world that you can trust. Mm-hmm. Okay. Otherwise, you don't have time to do anything, and it's just much easier to believe. Wouldn't it be nice? Hey, Earth is flat. Really? Yep. Okay. Let's go have a beer. Done. You don't have anything else to do. Oh, Earth is flat. You mean I have to study every day for the next 8 years to get as far as Dave has gotten? Maybe I'll just watch his videos since he did all the work already. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there are easy, my videos make it easy for you. You don't have to do the work. Taboo Conspiracy did all the experiments. You don't have to go out and freeze your ass off and spend money on gear and have the weather disappoint you because it doesn't work, and then do it again and do it again. And then have radios and cell phones and batteries that are dying and weather that changes and, and all of the stuff. He did it for you. He filmed it. He documented it. Yeah. Him and other people. Right. And all of that can be found on my app on the experiments section. Right. So it's all there in your pocket. So anyone that says, well, I don't have time, bull crapola. Okay. Bull crap. You can, I don't know, at least once or twice a day, you're sitting in a room by yourself. Okay. The bathroom. Right. Break out some stuff. Right. Get this book, Frequently Asked Questions. Read one page a day. You'll turn into a flat earther, right? But people are lazy. People would rather just go with the flow. I want to go there. I want to watch a movie. Okay. And that's how they got you. What difference does it make? I still have to go to work on Monday. Okay. The shape doesn't matter to me. There's too many other important things.
That's what I hear a lot. Yeah.
That's what you hear all the time.
It is.
Flat and level is not a shape. It's a description of level and horizontal. Flat is the description of level and horizontal. And if you don't know where you are, if you're trapped in a heliocentric prison, here, this is how would you know, right? We got the world, we draw a circle, and you live in America or beginning at the top of South America, and we say, this is all there is, and you're not allowed to explore this white area, right? And then we wrap it around a ball, and we say, this is all there is. There's nowhere else. There's no such thing as Europe or Africa or Australia, and you're not allowed to go to this little dot here, okay? Right? So what if we lived in a world of other pieces of the plane, planets, other puddles, and we lived in the center of this one right here? Okay. We live right here, extra land out here. These are extraterrestrials. We cut it out. We wrap it around a sphere and say, you can't explore south. You can't explore this white part. And it's actually a continent at the bottom of the ball, only 13,000 miles around, although it turns out it's over 68,000 miles around. That's a prison for your mind, a prison for your thoughts. It disconnects you from your true power. It disconnects you from understanding that your thoughts create your reality. They don't want you to know that, there's different polarities in whether you're a good person or a bad person. I'm not saying one evil, you guys ever read the teachings of Ra? I read it years ago. A guy just introduced me back to it. I actually put it in the homeschool section. This guy, he breaks it down much easier for you in these videos and teaches you about it. It says everything about the world, except Ra says the earth is a globe. But if you understand how the teachings come through this person that channels Ra, the person doesn't get words, doesn't get a script. They get feelings and imagery, and they put it into their understanding of the world. So they're the ones using these words, right? But if you listen, whenever they talk about planets and other worlds and other civilizations, just put it on that map I just showed you. Those are the planets. Those are the other civilizations. Those are the entities, the good ones, the bad ones, right? It all works better on a flat earth. It's amazing. And once you guys know it, once you unplug from the heliocentric matrix, you're no longer afraid. Fear is the only thing to fear. That's probably the only quote that's ever been said in history. The only thing to fear is fear itself. That's true. Everything else is nonsense, right? The only thing to fear, because the evil in this world, they can't be evil to you. What they can do is they can find vulnerability in you. Oh, that person is afraid. That person's scared. That person is feeling sick, and then they can find a doorway to get in and disrupt you and take away your ability to thrive. I mean, that's how this world works. I highly encourage people. In my app, there's so many things, but the homeschool section, whether you have kids or you're just homeschooling yourself, you hit the home button. And right here is this guy, and I'm actually doing a live stream with him with Jaron and Austin and on June 8th. But amazing. If you haven't read the Ra books, it's truly amazing. But he breaks it down in short videos for you. Tons of stuff in here. And anyone that hasn't been watching Schooling Globers by Austin Whitsitt, have you guys been watching that series? Schooling Globers. Austin does this show. Kid is so friggin' smart. And he schools Globers on all of their fallacies and nonsense, and he explains it. It's so funny, mind-blowing. The newest one is number 14, I think. And it's at the top. The one at the top is amazing. Watch that, then watch the rest of them. And again, Schooling Globers and Schooling Flat Earthers, right? So we know what to say when we hear these things, There's really no other questions, no objections that they can put out there other than complicated math equations that describe nonsense.
I'm going to add that into my curriculum because my daughter I don't do history or science because I don't believe any of it.
Well,
So
how old, so for your daughter, right?
she's 11.
Right here. Just watch it every week. There's a new episode, 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Just watch it and discuss it. And this is John Levy. Some people like him, some people hate him. He talks in this slow voice and he's like, hey, you know, I listen to everything at double speed because I can listen to much more. John Levy, I listen to at regular speed, which is the absolute opposite because you can play him at double speed and he still sounds slow. Okay. But I listen to him slow because he's showing images and stuff and I really want to soak it all in. Yeah. But your daughter will love this. Your daughter will love I'm the Improbable Dreamer also, right? Just every day. He puts out 1, 2, 3 little videos a day. Just watch it. And then you guys are going to be talking all day about stuff. She's going to be inspired with ideas and thoughts and observations, right? She's going to become like a really amazing, smart, aware person that sees the world for the reality, the amazing reality that we're in. Again, and then Crow 777 Radio. How old's your oldest?
Well, she's 11 and we have a 9-year-old.
Okay. So they're probably almost ready for Crow. Do you guys listen to Crow? Okay.
Yeah, I've listened to him before. He's the one that captured the moon.
Yeah. Right? But they do all sorts of stuff from freeing yourself from the enslavement system to health to all sorts of stuff. To nuclear bombs don't exist. Episode 053 and episode 400. Okay. Crow I think it's $8 a month. All right. Use their college money for that because don't send them to college. Do not send your kids to college. Save that money. Send them to a house. Get them a house in Cape Hatteras for a year, and let them learn how to kite surf while they listen to some Crow each day. And they'll become back smarter, amazing, thrivers of this world, enjoying life rather than becoming a slave in the debt system.
Well, I let them listen to the Rockefeller schooling, like how it all began, how school began. So they're very awake for 9 and 11.
So
that's phenomenal. I can't wait until they're 10 and 12.
Yeah. Right. I got a challenge for you though.
Go.
So, Veronica is someone that if she met you like at a party or something, and she realized you were conservative or like maybe flat Earth, she would be like, clones, flat Earth. She would just like slam you with everything.
I don't plant seeds. I plant the tree.
Yeah, she'll shove you down the rabbit hole and then push you down farther.
We all get super excited. Flat Earthers are we're so exuberant, we're so passionate that sometimes we come on like bulldozers. You gotta,
and you know what? I'm not gonna waste my time getting to know someone if they're not on my
I
level,
got it.
Right? So
have you guys tried
I'm not wasting any time.
Have you guys tried to do a meetup or anything using the Friend Finder?
We're gonna join. I was gonna join. Yeah.
All right. So the Friend Finder, let us load. You guys are up in where are you? You're in
the
northwest.
Yeah. So you're in this area. You could send out a radius. Like if I set my radius to, I'll turn it to 50 kilometers, right? And I'll say save. It's got to load for a second. The number will load right there. There's 564. So I can send out a message. Hey, we're having a party, meetup at Rico's Pizza. Whenever. We actually did that a few weeks ago. 75 people showed up. Okay.
That's great.
And I've never met a blue dot I don't like. You can also tap on somebody. Hey, somebody's in our town. You look at it, you open up their profile. By the way, the profiles, literally, it's becoming Facebook. Right now, it's just a little crappy little profile section. Hopefully next week it'll be done. And you could load images and videos and all of your social media, your LinkedIn, if you're looking for a job, because Flat Earthers only like working for Flat Earthers and hiring Flat Earthers. So this is a job site. Are you looking for love, looking for friends? This is a true friend finder because I've never met a Flat Earther, a blue dot that I don't like, right? The orange dots are people that have just joined, right? So this is an orange dot. And then you message them and you're like, hey, let's meet for coffee. You're just 5 miles down the road. New best friend, guaranteed every time. Okay. And we're taking their technology, right? And using it against them. And for those of you that are afraid of being tracked, if you have a smartphone, you are being tracked. But if you're worried about being tracked, get my app because when you sign up for the friend finder, you're not putting any personal data in there. An email address could be a fake one. Doesn't matter. You can use any name you want. Okay. And when you're on there, it obscures your location by up to 5 miles, right? So first, it's off by 5 miles. That's not very accurate. And the second thing is, if you came to visit me in Connecticut or went to Mexico, it's going to leave you where you first registered. You have to tell it to update your position every time you move. So if I went to Mexico and I updated, I was in Mexico last winter, and I haven't updated since. My dot would still be in Mexico. So if you're trying to hide from the Googles, okay, get my app, okay, because it's the worst tracking thing ever. So, but the reason I address that is because the trolls actually scare people from getting it, because hey, we're all concerned. Hey, I want a little tracking as possible and whatnot. My app is not a danger at all. Okay.
And it doesn't matter. I mean,
you're right. It doesn't matter. There's
a microchip in everything. Your fridge, everything's got a microchip, and they just have algorithms to tell you what's going on.
I have so many devices in my house that are listening to me that they have to be getting confused at this point. They're like, he can't have this many. Okay. So
let me get back because you guys get. All right. So here's the challenge.
All right. Challenge. Go.
All right. How do you slip in something that's planting a seed? The closest thing I could relate it to is, you ever seen that video of a guy, he's on the news interview and he's just talking and the earth is flat, and then he's just talking.
I saw that guy. Yes.
So what's a good way to slip something in where it's not even, it may not even seem like flat earth, where maybe in a week, a month, they see a YouTube video and it triggers them? Like, what would be something that's just subtle enough to be in their mind? Well,
you could wear this shirt. Okay. Right. Just feel like, hey, the funny thing is, when you wear one of these shirts, or if you get Stefan's flat earther shirt, this is the best hoodie ever. They're so good. Flat earthers will see it and go, yo, flat, or people that are good, they'll be like, really? I heard something about it. Starts great conversations. Globers, NPCs, not only do they not see that it says flat earth, it makes you invisible so they can't even see you. Okay. This literally cloaks you from NPCs. And so they don't even see you, which is like kind of an awesome thing. Right. So I walk out through the world and none of the stupid people even can look at me because I'm visible. So, for me, everyone brings it up because everyone knows, flat earth Dave, I'm out there. If you're talking about stuff, to say, if they don't know that you're flat earth already, just say, I saw this guy is offering 3 Bitcoins. That's like 75 grand. If I can come up with one globe proof, but I'm not smart enough. Can you help me? Right? Yeah. What do you mean? Like, well, here, watch this video, and you give them flat earth 21 questions. Just say, I just need to find one thing in here that's wrong, and I could win 3 Bitcoins. I'll split it with you. I'll even give you 2 Bitcoins. Okay? Help me, please.
And I've said that. I have said that to people. Yes. Yeah.
The other thing is, if you're ever using somebody's computer and they turn their back, go on their YouTube and subscribe to every good channel, right? Subscribe, just subscribe to everything. That's kind of backhanded, but I kind of like it. I think it's kind of funny. Just a subtle thing, just like, I'm trying to figure this out. We live on a globe, well, you can try to say it less obvious. Like, how is space a vacuum and air doesn't get sucked into space? Because we're doing an experiment for at homeschool with a vacuum chamber, and it sucks air up from the bottom. How come the air doesn't get sucked into space? Well, gravity. Well, then why does my vacuum chamber suck it up if gravity's holding? Just throw out stuff like that. Idea. I don't know. I'm like you. I just bulldoze them at this point. I'm like, you're like, are you really a flat earther? I'm like, are you really a globe earther? Could you give me one proof? Just one. Okay. For you, I'll give you 6 Bitcoins. Don't be afraid to offer somebody something that you are able to give them. Don't say, I'll give you 1,000,000 Bitcoins, because then it's not a real bet. Just say, take all the money out of your pocket. Say you went to the ATM. Here's $500. Give me one globe proof, just one.
Yeah.
Then when they do it, break out the app, go, well, oh, wait, seasons? Let me show you. Look, this is seasons. Oh, that's how seasons work.
Yeah.
You know, to say, why isn't it freezing at sunrise in June when the sun is 3.5 million miles farther from us and it's at the worst tilt possible? It's on the horizon. But in June, it's hot at sunrise. But in December, at noon, when the sun is as high in the sky as it can be, a much more direct angle, and it's 3.5 million miles closer. Did you know that the sun is 3.5 million miles closer in December? Well, no, I didn't know that. Are you sure that's right? Well, yeah, it is right. And just pop in stupid stuff like that.
Yeah. I mentioned like how moonlight, the light from the moon is colder than, you know.
So that's a hard one. It's not my favorite one because there's 900 ways to do that incorrectly and get a false positive. People will take a piece of cardboard and put it over the ground like this, and then they'll measure the moonlight here. Well, this is insulating. Okay. The shade is insulating, and you're going to get a false positive there. Yes, the moon absolutely does cold light. Okay. I have a parabolic dish that I'm afraid to take out during the day because when the sun hits it, it literally sets crap on fire. I'm waiting for a clear moon, a full moon, to see if I can notice like a much colder, if I can use it as a focal point.
Freeze something.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll freeze something, but imagine if I do it and it's like air conditioning, it's like cold, but there's a lot of ways you have to do it where it's a fair test. And there's a lot of ways to do it. You need a vertical fence or something. So you have, the grass on this side and the grass on this side and the moon's over here. Well, there's no insulation. The fence is upright. There's no trees. There's no nothing. And you measure it, you're going to get a difference, so you just have to be careful not to do that. And the problem with that is though, you show that to a normie, they don't understand it at all. Right. Well, light can't make things colder. And then you have to go to, Cody's Action Lab and show them what a cold laser is. And yes, light can make things colder. Yeah. So again, you're dealing with people that don't think, they just memorize and they believe and they want to fit in and they don't want to be laughed at because we're all taught, if somebody laughs at you, you don't want that. I do everything I can to make people laugh at me because it makes me laugh.
Yeah. So what do you think of it? I mean, do you think the moon is a reflection? I've heard that the moon is a reflection of this area.
Oh, when you say reflection, I don't know if it's a reflection. I don't know. I think that there is like an as above, so below. It's part of the Earth system. We're all fractals of everything. And I think that the pattern on the moon might have a serious correlation to the shape of the Earth and the human body. I bet if they sliced our brains in half, they'd find the same pattern or something. Okay. Yeah. So there is a correlation there. The new video, Taboo Conspiracy has it on his channel. That took me from 50-50 to there's a 95+% chance that there's something serious to this. What it means, how it works, I don't know. But is the moon a rock that was chipped off the Earth and floating in space perfectly, gravitationally locked to the Earth so it doesn't spin, but the Earth is not gravitationally locked to the sun? Figure that out. And the moon, this rock affects women's menstrual cycles. It actually has the same phases as a menstrual cycle, right? I think the moon has to do with the delivery and removal of souls. Okay. Here on this plane. How does that work, Dave? I don't know, man. Okay. But it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I think that the stars are where our eternal souls live. The sun is maybe the SUN, the SON. Maybe it's the same thing. I don't know. The story is the same. Dies on the 21st, starts coming back on the 25th, resurrects. It feeds us. It warms us. It gives us life. It takes care of us. It makes us healthy. Okay. And they want you not looking anywhere. They don't want you thinking about this stuff. So, this world is ours. It was made for us, and nobody can take it from us. We can only give it away.
Yeah, exactly. Because
the
last 2 years, everything's a scam. That's what I've realized. Everything is a scam to fool us to give up everything.
Right. Right. So, you guys have seen this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
but so I think that the moon that we see is beyond our dome of vision, whether that's a physical dome or just a atmospheric dome. I don't think it matters. But the moon and the sun are on the other side, so we're just seeing the reflection of it. All right, see the
Yep.
reflection. Do you see a moon here? I don't know. I just see missing sun. This is actually the sun. I see missing sun. Right, missing sun. When I say missing sun, is this one? So when we see an eclipse, we don't see the moon. We see missing sun. We see sky, right? We don't see an eclipse. We just see a piece of the sun is missing. A piece of the sun is missing. We imagine there's a moon. We imagine there's a moon here, but it's just the sun's not there. The sun's not there. The sun is not there. Okay, what is it? No one's ever seen the moon approach. No, the moon is pretty damn close. Should be there. You know, if you track the moon, I think the moon has something to do with it, but it's not here in front of the sun. I think it's behind the sun, and it's blocking us from seeing the sun.
Yeah.
What's that?
Shouldn't it be? Shouldn't it be not as crisp? Like if the light is coming from behind an object, shouldn't the light kind of wrap around it so it wouldn't be such a crisp like line? You know, it's very crisp. Shouldn't it light it from behind so it would come around it?
So this is me with a light behind this paper towel, and I'm eclipsing it with a solid piece, and it's not wrapping around. Okay, yeah. This is a real eclipse, right? It's blowing out the lens. You can't see it, but this is the projector behind the sky. This is the eclipse was that amount. That's a lens flare, right? Yeah. And then when we do the same thing, here's my sky where I made the sky thinner. Here's my projector. Here's the projection. This is what we see. And all of a sudden we see that same little thing. The same little thing. So this is my simulated eclipse with a projected sun, rear projected. Yeah. And this is a real eclipse. And you tell me, am I right? Yeah. Or is the stupid heliocentric model right?
Yeah. It does make sense.
It all makes sense.
Do you think there are more objects floating around, and that's one of the reasons why they chemtrail the crap? I mean, there's a bunch of reasons why they do that, but
the people say they're poisoning us with the chemtrails. I think they're doing that a little bit. But that's not the main reason. They're controlling the weather. I think they control the weather partially with chemtrails, but I think the real story on chemtrails is they're trying to disconnect us with the heavenly realm, which is right above us. I think that the clouds aren't what they tell us. The clouds are intelligence, right? Think about this. This world, this living system needs water delivered, and the clouds deliver this, what's called secondary water by random chance, by heated patterns, or is it intelligently delivered? Is it angelically delivered? Right. And when you watch, you have beautiful cumulus clouds with sharp edges, and they're kind of morphing, and they kind of look like a brain. Water carries information. And then a chemtrail comes through, and the cloud turns into a slurry. That's a war in the heavens right in front of our eyes. And so when people say, well, they wouldn't do all that to themselves also because they have to breathe the air. I don't think it's about breathing the air. I think it's about disconnecting us from the heavenly realm, disconnecting us from source, disconnecting us from angelic assistance or from our true self. When the truth, the likely story is they're already disconnected. They're already fallen angels. They're already, soulless people. So none of that matters to them. So they're trying to disconnect us also, right? If you look at color therapy, what color does, they've gotten rid of our blue sky. We have a gray sky now. You know what that does to us? People have no idea the effect that has on us. The fact that our skies are now white. And now if you look in you've looked into Tataria or the research of old times, and you see all of the skies are whited out. They're all whited out. And a lot of the researchers think that they whited out the skies so we can't see all the traffic in the skies with the airships, because there was massive airships. I'm the improbable dreamer. Go there, watch his videos. Okay. I'm thinking now that there was some sort of reset and they whited out the skies just like they're doing now back then, right? So the pictures we're seeing from back then, it looks like the same thing that's happening now. We look at all of these fires, the supposed fires. Every city in the United States burned down, right? All these fires, but the fires leave the trees and take down brick and cement. How does a fire take down brick and cement? But when you look at them and compare them to the World Trade Towers, right the day after, it looks like the same damage. Okay. What the heck is going on? I'm not claiming to know, but I think the it's clear the narrative that they tell us is complete and total garbage. Yeah. I'm the improbable dreamer. Everybody go start watching him. And the first video he has there, it says, buy me a coffee. Buy that guy a coffee. Watch 10 of his videos. And then if you watch more than that, buy him a coffee, please.
So what's your opinion on what's happening now? Because it seems like there's an awakening. You know, you don't have to just believe in flat Earth. Everyone's questioning everything, and it feels like everything is getting out of control for them.
The cat is out of the bag. The people are waking up. I think that they're scrambling, but there's nothing they can do about it unless everybody goes into full panic mode and says, help me, government, help me. And they don't take their power back. We need to, all those blue dots I showed you, they're all unplugged from the matrix. They're no longer feeding them, right? We have to live in a state of love and compassion and hope and joy. And they hate that. They're going to run away. They can't be near that because that disrupts their service to self vibration, right? Yeah. We have to live in that service to other vibration, right? We have to live in that high vibration. And it just takes a certain amount of us, not even a lot. Maybe it's only 5% of the world. Maybe it's less. And then the whole thing tips, because when 5% go flat, the other 90% of the people that are going to wake up are followers. They're going to be like, you know what? They did all the work. They're right. You know what? Dave Weiss is right. And they're going to come along. So we're getting there, where the Candace video is in Rolling Stone magazine. It was on Market Watch. It's freaking going everywhere. And we want it. We want more people to tweet it. Stu Peters, he, love him or hate him. He's got a huge audience. He's flat. He's been tweeting flat Earth stuff. I've been retweeting it and commenting. And a lot of those people are waking up because everyone's heard about flat Earth a whole bunch of times already. And now all of a sudden they're like, okay, wait, Stu Peters? Wait, Candace Taylor? Wait, everybody. There's so many people. Oh, wait, Alex Jones, right? Love him or hate him. Doesn't matter, right? Coast to Coast Radio. All of these guys are waking up and they're waking up other people. There's other people that are fighting it, right? And it just takes one viral tweet and the entire thing crumbles down. Okay. If Justin Bieber could get control of his Twitter and send out one tweet, because he knows the Earth is flat, he'd send it out to 140 million people. Game over. Unfortunately, he's not allowed to tweet his own tweets.
Well, Mr. Beast, we saw a video from Mr. Beast 4 years ago.
I don't even know who Mr. Beast is. Is he an anti-flat earther?
He's proving the Earth is flat. It was a stupid video, but it's.
He's mocking us. He's mocking us, though.
Yeah,
he's mocking
probably,
us.
But
right.
Yeah,
I don't even know. I wouldn't recognize him if I bumped into him in the street, and I'm kind of proud to say that. There's so much nonsense in this world, but one of those nonsense content makers is going to be like, holy crap, the Earth is flat. And he's going to tweet something. Hey, go to flatearthdave.com. Oh, hey, do this, do that. And overnight while we're sleeping, we're going to wake up and they're going to, everyone in the government's going to be running for cover because when everyone wakes up to flat Earth
out there, it makes people think.
Yeah.
And it's a double-edged sword. Like your app there, that's like you said, use their stuff against them. They're pushing for technology so bad.
Yeah.
But the more technology we get, like the drones, all this stuff, I think I just saw a video. Someone sent up a thing flying straight up and it showed with their video that everything's flat.
I just saw that. I just saw that on Twitter today. Somebody sent another balloon launch. It's a good one. Yeah. So
Do you think their water's above? You know how like when we see the rockets
you
and
know, when
they
it looks that
leave?
way, NASA
Yeah,
talks about, everything in space is ships docking, the Sea of Tranquility. It's all nautical terms. Uh,
yeah,
it makes perfect sense. I think that there's as above, so below. Gaddafi discovered primary water, was,
yeah.
giving water to all of Africa, but can't have that. So we had to blow it
No.
up. If any of you haven't seen my man-made river, Muammar Gaddafi, search my channel. DITRH stands for Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. Search for the the Great Man-Made River or Muammar Gaddafi. 5-minute video. You'll cry. You'll cry. You realize he was one of the greatest leaders of all time. But we were told he was a tyrant, raped women, killed children.
Yeah.
All of that is nonsense. And then we were told Mother Teresa, she's a good guy, good girl, right? The world is upside down. Yeah, that guy, whatever. Probably was a guy, all right? I don't know, right? The Vatican. I mean, people are like, how can people follow that when they're literally, it's where Satan lives, okay?
Yeah.
And he's sitting on an $80 million gold throne. Meanwhile, everybody's starving. Come on.
$80 million. $80 million. That's 1 day and 2 hours of NASA's budget. Okay, and NASA is fake. It's even worse. NASA is complete and total garbage. But we have Austin Whitsitt is coming out with the Audit NASA website. Wait until that comes out. It's going to cause big waves. That's going to be, I think, next week. So much stuff. Have you watched Level with Me? Have you watched Level with Me film yet? Level with Me. Level with Me. I'm in it. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'll look it up.
Well, Level with Me film. It just became free. The SD version. If you hit the web button, which is right there, right? Hit the web button and you scroll down to Flat Earth Movies, right there. You don't need Netflix anymore when you have this. We got Flat Earth 21 Questions and then Level with Me. Second one. Bam. We got the whole Level trilogy here. Watch those in this order. Okay. Mm-hmm. It is scientifically impossible to watch all 3 Level movies and believe NASA is for real and the Earth is a globe. Scientifically impossible. All right. And so there's one. That's another thing you can do. You can invite your friends over for movie night and then put Level with Me on. Say, yeah, this movie just came out, documentary. It's pretty cool. It's about the Challenger disaster. Oh, yeah, really? And then they'll watch the first 10 minutes and they're going to be like, holy crap. But you've already, while they're riveted, you've taken their car keys and you've locked the doors. So you don't let them out until the movie's over. Okay. And, then we'll find out nobody.
That's why we need the friend finder because we don't have any friends anymore.
Listen, I've lost family and friends, but I've gained a whole new family. All of those dots, right? My sister and brother, they can't even believe chemtrails are real. Okay. All right. That's just contrails. You're crazy. They couldn't do it. It's just like, and that's their journey. Maybe it's my journey. Maybe they're here to friggin', to test me. Okay. Right. So I'm trying to get to the point where it becomes so big that their friends go, is Flat Earth Dave your brother? Is Flat Earth Dave? That's what I'm waiting. That's what I'm waiting for. Yeah. Okay. And they'll be like, what? I don't even know if they know I'm a flat earther, to be honest. They have to, but maybe they don't. It's possible. It's possible. I don't know.
So my mother, when she was growing up, she was born in 1955, right? Right here in Connecticut. When she went to elementary school, they were teaching flat earth, but then they quickly changed to globe earth.
Yep.
So
it was in the 50s that they changed
that long ago.
Right.
Yeah.
It was in the 50s. So
she's a little bit like, you're not too crazy, because I kind of remember this.
Right. And they were teaching flat earth and globe earth in the 50s. And then all of a sudden, flat earth just disappeared like it never existed. Right? Crazy, right? Did you guys see my interview with Ruth? You must have.
Yes.
Ruth.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was an amazing, just spur of the moment thing. But she knew it her whole life, but just believed what she was told. And when I told her, she broke down crying. It was amazing, mind blowing. So, I don't know what else to say other than everybody, please take your heads out of your rear ends and do something, say something, right? Wake people up, buy people that book, buy people this book, right? For Christmas, buy 20 of these books, and that's what everybody gets, this friggin' book. Put it on your coffee table, put it in your bathroom, put it anywhere. Okay, get them my app, gift them my app. You know, the book is expensive. Book's like, I don't know, $35 or something. The app's only $3. Gift it to them, right? Gift it to them, right? Just go and gift it to them. You buy people a beer. What's that? $7. Okay.
Yep.
Right. Gift it to them. And then, and also send out a radius message like, hey, we're going to be at so-and-so pizza place, whatever, pub, Friday afternoon, Friday evening, Saturday evening, whatever it is. Come by and say hello. Right. And if one person shows up, it's an event. If one person, can you imagine going out to a bar, pub, and a flat earther that you never met that lives near your town or in your town? Because it's like, I'm here because I saw your message, right? You're not leaving that pub until they throw you out, when all the chairs are on the table and you guys are still sitting there talking, because you're starved for intellectual conversation above, news, politics, and weather. Okay, all fake.
Yep.
So, and I encourage people do that. And then, when I come out with the new social media, when you go on profiles, you can say, hey, you know what? Let me friend that person. It puts them in a friends list, right? And then you'll have your group of friends, and you can start groups. And do you know that you can do group calls, video calls on the app?
Oh no, I didn't know that.
So if you go into the friend finder and you click the messaging, right? And so I'm going to go to the beta test group. This is just a test group. And I'm going to hit the video button right up here. Okay. Ready? Do you guys, are you on the friend finder? Are you not on the friend finder yet, right?
Not yet, but we're on your app.
So I'm going to hit the video call, and look, here it is. And it's now anybody that's in the video call. They're like, oh, Dave started a call. And, a lot of people have silenced it because it's a big group, but we'll give it a second, and then people will jump on, and you have these random conversations we had 70 people when I tested it at a conference. But normally you send out a message like, hey, let's have a video call at 7:00 tonight. And then people jump on. And it's a blast, but of course, nobody's coming on right now. But you have people, it's speaker view. And like, I jumped in some random calls, and there was like a mother and her daughter. They were driving across the country. There was a truck driver. There was a guy in Switzerland, a guy in Israel. And they were talking about all sorts of amazing stuff. And it was a great conversation. And I was on there for over an hour, right? And so this is going on all the time. There's these groups, these calls going on all the time. Of course, everyone's leaving me high and dry. Let's try another one. Let's go into this unvaccinated. Unvaccinated. That's a bunch of crazy people. And I'll hit the call here, and we'll see if people jump on. All right.
That's the irony.
Yeah.
Most like flat
careful with the words. Yeah. There you go. Right? Thank you.
So they don't have this, so we're gonna be the only people left around.
We might be the only ones. Hey, maybe that's the whole plan, to get rid of the NPCs. Okay,
NPCs, right?
I mean, but who knows? And of course, nobody's jumping on.
Do you talk to pilots at all?
Oh, there's tons of stuff. Like in the app, I'm going to jump out. In the app, if you go to the frequently asked questions, the question mark button, and you say, are all where is it? There's one. Are all scientists and pilots in on it? There's one in here somewhere. Where the hell did it go? Are all space agencies in on it? Oh, pilot, right here. Pilots and scientists. Pilots and scientists. You hit that, and there's all sorts of videos in here. This is a NASA whistleblower. And there's all sorts of stuff. There's military guy whistleblowers in here. There's ex-pilots, current pilots, all sorts of stuff. There's tons of videos. Tons.
You'd think that there'd be more now, because you know how they were made to get this? And that, like, the whole thing is they scare you to ruin your career. Well, if you get this, your career's done anyways now. So you might as well.
Well, that's a possibility for sure.
You ain't flying anymore, so.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't get it, you're not flying. If you do get it, you're not flying. They're trying to make flying not a thing. You know, they don't want us going
Yeah,
anywhere. 15-minute
anywhere.
cities,
Right.
CBDCs. So, we're not going to let it happen. I'm not going to let it happen, you know? And guess what? For the people that are afraid of it and are living in fear and aren't doing anything about it, it's going to happen to you. All this stuff is going to happen to you, but it's not going to happen to us, right? I think the world's going to split into two different polarities: people that allow and people that thrive. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm going thriving.
yeah.
Yeah, us too.
Because
Yeah.
they can't make you do anything. That's the scam. Is they got to
Right,
trick you to do it yourself.
right.
You know. Now, say everything. I don't know how if people think of like current events going on, if say the good guys are winning, if there's stuff going on. Now, if things get lifted, are you immediately going to try to get to the other lands, or I mean,
Oh, you
is
mean if
that
they
on like
opened
a
up
bucket list?
Antarctica?
Yeah,
Like it was like, okay, yes, the Earth is flat. You know, I'll book a trip in a freaking second. Absolutely, right? That would be
yeah,
amazing, right? You know what? It'd be like a 5-year trip. I'll be back in 5 years, okay, and go to, that would be truly just an amazing thing. But I also, I'm not sure that's exactly how it works. I think that maybe you have to raise up spiritually, energetically, to a certain level to get through our dome, if you will. Maybe we're vibrationally in here, and you have to have the proper vibration to get through to go to the next place.
yeah.
I encourage people on the book section, a really simple book, and kids, by the way, love this book. It's called you hit the book section, The Navigator Who Crossed the Ice Wall. Where'd it go?
Yeah.
Did I pass it? The Navigator,
Well,
this guy right here. The Navigator Across the Ice Wall. Easy reading, big type, short book. It's literally the story of Star Wars here on Earth. It's Star Wars is the Navigator Across the Ice Wall, but they put it in outer space to make you lose your mind. When the truth is, there are people, possibly, again, can't prove it, but it rings true to me, that they're traveling in between all of these little ponds, right?
yeah,
And that there's this group called the custodians that they manage where you go. And then there's conflicts, there's bad lands, the Klingons, right? And then there's the good lands, right? And there's all these different trade routes and all this stuff that's happening, right? And in the book, one thing that really rang with me was they said that every human being that is traveling through these vibrational lands has a connection to the source. What does that sound like? They've got this connection, this power called the source.
yeah.
Star Wars, the force. Yeah. They're telling us, right?
That's
so,
yeah. I think that's the lie. I think in Star Wars, there's like a handful of people that can do it out of like trillions or something. I think it's the opposite. I think we all are Jedi, and we're just tricked into not knowing we are.
Right. I mean, and again, scientifically possible. We live here, right? What if this is the Mars and the Anunnaki and, the Lemuria, right? These are just thousands of miles away. Scientifically possible. A day trip. Literally, it's a day trip, 2 days, a week. You can go and come back, versus outer space, outer ridiculousness of impossibility. Scientifically impossible. This is scientifically possible. Outer space is not. The outer space.
Yeah,
is where it's at.
I get frustrated that it's almost like you get pigeonholed. If you're only either flat Earth or you're round, you can't be somewhere in between. You can't think outside the box. You can't if you're flat Earth, there's no aliens. Like I don't know. I
think the idea of extraterrestrials is, I think, of conclusion in my mind. Again, can't prove it, but I think we're seeing extraterrestrials every day. I think we all these different races came from these different lands. We're here in this training school, this melting pot, and we're all learning. And if have you guys looked into the orphan trains?
Yeah.
Okay, where did that come from? Right? Have you looked
at Cabbage Patch Kids?
The Cabbage Patch Kids. Wait, I'm the improbable dreamer. He's got some videos on there that are freaky. Like there's this old movie, like one of the earliest movies made in our time, was these people going through shopping for babies in the Cabbage Patch, and they're pulling real live babies out of the Cabbage Patch.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the creepiest thing ever.
Yeah.
And then you see the incubators, age your baby
I was
2
gonna say
years
that.
in 6 hours or whatever. It's like, what the heck is going on? I like it. I'm in.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is there a warranty on those babies? Like, can you bring them back after a couple months if they're not behaving or something? Do you wonder that about your own kids ever?
11 years? 11 years? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't like force, they had to have a reason for the kids working in factories because kids are terrible workers. They're not strong. They don't know how to, they're not, come on. Unless they needed them for some reason, like there was a cataclysm.
So think about this. When I was a kid, the number one kids show after school was The Little Rascals. You remember The Little Rascals?
Yeah. Yep.
What was that about? No parents, kids living in an orphanage. Okay?
Yep.
They're normalizing it because orphanages were everywhere, right? These giant buildings. Where did these buildings come from? They're all orphanages. Now they're insane asylums and jails.
Yeah, or insane asylums. It's either orphanage or insane asylum.
Well, I think they were all orphanages. Orphanages is that the word? Orphanages. I can't say it. Orphanages. Orphan homes. Okay, and where'd they come from? Why didn't some of them have belly buttons? Okay, why are they saying they're here to repopulate the earth? How did they get on trains? Do those trains go underground from puddle to puddle, from pond to pond? Why does Disney World look like that? Everything's underground. Okay. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Why does all the alien spaceship footage, all the ships go into volcanoes or into the water? They never go out to space. They always go down into the water or volcanoes.
There's a lot going on. You don't want us to know, right? Lot going on. Is there denser levels below us? I would think so. How far down? I think 8 miles down. There's another ceiling, and there's stuff below that. All right, we can't get through that. And above us, it's not that high. Okay. But who the heck knows? Yep.
Every major religion and even the heretical pagan religions all have like flat Earth and levels and all of them.
They all do. Every single one of them except the religion of NASA.
Yeah.
Right?
Scientism.
So we're about at our time, I think.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, and send me a link when this is up and we'll share it on the app. And for those of you, if you go to flatearthdave.com and get the app, if you hit the web button, that's called the More Resources page, all my interviews will be here. So your interview will be right there on that button. And if you're trying to figure out all the things the app does, there's a video. We did a live stream. We showed all the features of the app. And there's actually more features now. So I'm going to have to do something else. Tons of stuff in here. All sorts of stuff. Do your kids like Flat Earth Man, his music?
Yeah, I've played a couple of that. The last thing we got into when I was showing them stuff was, you ever heard of Ewar Anon?
Ewar Anon. Right here. The Lost History of Flat Earth. It's right here.
That's what she was watching.
It's right there. Watch that. That's your homework for a week. Watch it, discuss it. Watch, go to the homeschool section, watch John Levy. And then there's a Tataria button right here, right?
Yeah.
Watch that. And then I added a new button called Giant Trees. Watch that. Okay. They tell us, the sequoias are big. No, there's trees that I think the trunks were 20, 30 miles around. Okay. Yeah. That's a big tree. Okay. And there's no question that these rock ledges are branches because this guy cleaved away some of the rock and it turned into wood. So it's not even a theory anymore. Because you can say, it looks like wood, but it's really rock. It's just because things look alike. No, it transitions back into wood. Okay. Yeah. So do you want to know what turned everything into stone?
Let's hear it.
I don't know. I want to know too.
I don't either. Yeah. But before we go, giants. What do you think of giants?
So when you say giant, how tall are we talking?
I don't know. Ever since the beginning of all the stuff that's been going on the last few years, like my mind is completely open to any crazy possibility. Because I've seen it where it looks like a giant, and they say it's with pareidolia. I forget the word.
Pareidolia. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they show the stone in it, and when we do the Orgone stuff, we've been working with stone, and some of the stone that they pull out literally looks like flesh, like bacon or.
Well, that's a fact but some of the mountains and stones are titans, animals, giants, trees. They're all things. Okay. But if you look at the story of Atlas, right? If we lived on a globe, what the hell's he standing on? Okay. Yeah. What's he standing on to hold up the earth? Right. Yeah. But the real story of Atlas is he's holding up the sky. Okay. Oh. The Atlas was holding up the sky, and then they changed it. Yeah. And they put a globe in his hands. Right. And if you look at the Egyptians, they have the same story. Okay. We all have the same story, holding up the sky with the stars. Right. So do I think there was giants? Well, I'm the improbable dreamer. I'm going to say it again. He's got videos of giants in the 1800s walking around town with people getting fitted for suits. Right. They're 10, 12, 15, 18, 20 feet tall. Okay. I think there was giants that were miles tall.
Yeah. You never know. I'm wondering if they're coming back. So I wouldn't. Oh,
that some biblical story says that they're going to come back. Where they just a giant miles high could walk across the ocean because the depths, won't really matter if it's only knee deep for him or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's going to scare the crap out of people. But I just hope he doesn't step on me because I don't want to miss out.
Yeah, I know. I want to see, we're ready.
I'm not afraid of death. I'm afraid of missing out. The show is just beginning. It's amazing.
Yeah. I don't know why people are so scared. This is like the greatest time to be alive. Yeah. Who cares what you're going to see because I get to experience it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We're here at the turning of everything.
I feel bad for the people who can't see it.
Yep. All right. Come to Flattoberfest. Everybody go to flattoberfest.com or flatearthfestivals.com. And on the app, on the shopping cart page, it'll be there soon. October 21st and 22nd or 20th and 21st, whatever weekend the 21st of October is. It's going to be in Vegas, so everybody can come from across the plane, easy to get to. And you have kids, stick them in the closet for a couple of days or bring them. Okay? Bring them. There's going to be kids there,
Yeah.
Teach them how to gamble. They don't have to gamble. I'm kidding. Teach them about the all-you-can-eat buffet. All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks. All right. See ya.
All right.
Are you a blue dot? Those questioning where we live are not just here. They are everywhere. Of course, this info is hidden from you, but the app shows you that no matter where you go, you aren't alone. We are everywhere, and we are growing. Find your tribe today.